1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Welcome back, Draft Kings and Queens, to the Racial Draft Podcast. I am your host, Michael Ford, joined by my co-host, Kia Lisi herself. Kia, how's it going?
What's up? It's been a long time, but we're back again. Whoop, whoop.
Yes, we are back. And if this is your first show, I apologize, but we are going to do what we do every week, and that is change the complexion of the comic book universe one draft pick at a time. And that is through the Racial Draft Podcast. Kia and I are joined by Black people. Yes, the podcast has been blacked, as it were.
It's a blackout.
As Randy from the Black Delegation is here. Randy, let the people know how.
So, right.
We are also joined by the 6'8" superstar basketball player / actor / mogul,
Legend.
TJ Stukes, the legend. How's it going, Stukes?
It's going well. Can't complain. Woke up this morning.
Nice. And yeah, so this is an off-season episode. We are in between the second and third season of the Racial Draft. We are just kicking around, waiting for the July start date of season 3, where we get down to Bidness. We are switching up the format in season 3, and I hope you are along for the ride, because we are going to do some crazy things.
Did you say business like that because there are Black people here? When is that? I just thought, is that called code switching, Mike? Is that what that is?
I'd like to call that a pun, a big pun, as it were, for the Latinx delegation. Shout out. Characters are up for grabs because you are placing bids. No more does it just fall to who wins the lottery, to who might draft Batman, or who wins, who stacks the deck in one of the fan polls, because we know that there's been some dirty polling happening behind the scenes. No more fiddling with dirty polls. That's a New Year's resolution, as it, in the middle of the year. So in the new season, in lieu of poll switching or poll handling or whatever shenanigans involving polls, we are doing the bidding. We are giving delegations bankrolls, and they are using their bankrolls to decide who gets who, which delegations get which characters. Everybody's up for grabs, people. Everybody, all you got to do is spend that money. I'm not going to stereotype.
Consensual grabs.
I'm going to say that if you are good with a dollar, if you know how to stretch a dollar, you might have a certain advantage.
You don't know how to stretch a dollar. Oh yeah.
Jiggity.
Yeah. Hey man,
I am going. We need to get some Black moms up into the fray. Making $1 out of 15 cents.
But Mom, I want Superman. You got Superman money?
Exactly. You better take this ultimatum. We will see. We will see what happens. See what happens when every delegation has an equal playing field of cash. No generational wealth here. We're 40 acres and the mule. It's happening right here on the Racial Draft Podcast. But we don't have regular season podcast business, but feel free to talk about what you would like to see in the third season. Stukes, what would you like to see in the third season?
Okay, honestly, I would like to see Latino Batman.
You had Latino Batman in season 2.
I would like that though. That seems normal. That like.
All right, so you just feel like he's just run it back with Lat Bat. Okay.
And I feel that Superman should be only black.
Oh, I mean, look, the movie universe is telling us that that's how it's going to be. So, Randy, now do you think that the black delegation should be targeting Black Superman? There's been a lot of controversy.
I will neither confirm nor deny that we have intentions to negrify Clark Kent. So
now I gotta ask, when you think of Black Superman or Black Clark Kent, what actor do you have in mind?
I don't know, because again, I can't confirm or deny. But if I were to do such a thing, I feel like it could be reasonable because Black people are fairly good at absorbing some sunlight with their melanin. I don't think that's entirely out of the realm of possibility. So again, not confirming or denying, but keep an eye out for that.
Well, look, there's been a lot of talk about Regé-Jean Page, who you might know from Bridgerton as I guess Mr. Bridgerton. I don't know. I mean, I've never seen the show.
He's lying. He's totally lying. That's Cat.
He's no longer on the show. I know that there was a story about how he tried out for the Krypton show for Kal-El's grandfather, and they said he doesn't look enough like Superman. Now they can make him look exactly like Superman. And we know that Warner or Discovery Warner or Warner Discovery or Discover Warren, whatever you want to call it, they're looking for some good headlines. And what better headlines than the dude from Bridgerton is going to be in some tights, flying around up and away, as it were, in your girl's drawers. So I'm thinking that could be a strong move for the Black delegation.
Wait, I actually have a quick question. So do you think as Black Superman, like he's gonna just be out there, they're gonna twist it up a little bit to where he's out there actually getting laid and doing all these other things?
Oh my God, that's a horrible stereotype.
Is he gonna be having about 6 baby mamas? What's going on? What do you think is gonna happen as a Black Superman? I'm just asking.
First of all, Kal-El is going to be spelled with an apostrophe. That's a given. But more importantly, there are going to be a lot of rumors about Superman, given the D. But
does Superman have to pay child support?
But it will not be.
I'm just asking.
He will not. He's got royalty in his DNA. He does not have baby mamas.
He's a good kid. He's a good guy who's put in a bad situation. Right. And makes the best of his bad situation.
And isn't Clark Kent the ultimate code switcher, if we're being honest?
Yes. True.
Yes.
He's the most non-threatening Black man of all time.
He's that guy. Leave him alone, man. Come on, man. He good to me, man.
Exactly. So the real question though is, if you were going to have a world where there's a Black Superman, is Lex also Black?
Lex can be clear, please.
I am not sure I could feel them both being the same race, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking I could see there being a more militant Black man in Lex.
I mean,
who's this man, series, he's right? This Negro's not even human.
I hope Lex is Russian.
You kind of sort of can see it. I mean, just obviously all Black people are not on necessarily the same side. All skin folk and kin folk, we all know
exactly.
But is it on the show, on the animated show, isn't he brown?
That is a common misconception. He's a dark-skinned white person.
Yeah,
so he's South African.
On the show, I believe he's the guy who actually plays him. I believe is not white, but kind of white passing almost. I don't.
It's Clancy Brown. It's Clancy Brown. who you might know.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, but also they said that visually he was based on Telly Savalas, who I think is Greek. So it's he's one of those. Listen, we know from history that there's a little African in that genetic.
So he's like the dude from 300.
Which dude from 300?
The bad guy, the main bad guy.
No, but that guy's actually like Moroccan. That guy I think was like Moroccan. Yeah, no, I think he's just like Caribbean, not Caribbean, Mediterranean white, which is like they're white.
I mean, they're brown people who got accepted into whiteness.
Right.
So okay, I understand.
Yeah. But now what I will say is that in the Harley Quinn cartoon, he's a full black person.
Really?
And he's voiced by Giancarlo Esposito. So I mean, Giancarlo is multiracial. So Kia, how would you feel about multiracial Lex?
You know what I feel about that. Will he give me points?
That is really hard to say. Let's look at season 2. Let's look at what Lex did for the Native American delegation in season 2. He only put up 21 points.
Yeah, sorry, he didn't make the roster.
Yeah. But you never know. I mean, every season's different. Different things happen.
Unless they come out with the Lex comic book, I don't see that happening.
What's the chance?
I mean, listen, I feel you. This is the kind of energy that the multiracial delegation was missing in season 2, which is why they finished second place and not first place, because they wanted
hey, Carlos,
to make vanity
hey, Gordy,
picks.
You ready? You ready for some competition?
But listen, I think this might be the season that the Native American delegation makes a move. I think this might be the season. Don't sleep on them. Listen, because I mean, from a storyline perspective, I actually did like in season 2 that we had, white Superman and Native American Lex Luthor, because Native American Lex Luthor had a particular reason to not trust a superpower colonizer.
The damn clear people.
He's like, I've seen this movie before. They come bearing gifts, they're turkeys and all that other stuff, and before you know it,
guys, there's a feast.
Smallpox.
Wait, guys, I just got an idea. Why not have African American Superman and African Lex Luthor, who immigrated over into America?
I could actually see that. That would actually be really interesting.
So I'm going to apologize. I'm going to apologize now to my Nigerian friends.
There's more countries over in Africa than Nigeria.
Way more.
Michael, why don't you name them?
I know. I know.
Them, Michael?
I know. I can name other ones, but I'm going to specifically
apologize four more?
I'm going to specifically apologize to my Nigerian friends, because Nigerian Lex Luthor could be so
a scammer. Oh,
I am a priest. And I need.
Yeah, I did my 23andMe. I can say that.
I got one for you. How about this? Hulk being African American.
I mean, no, because he would never revert back to human. He always has something to be angry. He always had something to be angry about.
Would be scared. The police would definitely be scared.
Yeah.
Like, no police.
They'd be like, oh no, right. Oh no.
Yeah.
No segregation.
That would like all the police shootings would like skyrocket. It's like, oh, is that the Hulk right there? No, get him! Like,
exactly.
No, that's not.
Yeah, we don't need that. As a black community, we don't need the Hulk to be associated with black people.
And what if he be like Auburn or something, like instead of green, like chestnut?
Now a Native American Hulk,
I like it.
Native American Hulk also has something to be angry about, but like,
Yeah, you're right.
I think we gotta leave Hulk white. We can't.
What about
because that Hulk storms the Capitol, and it's like it's like, I mean, democracy smash.
Think about Hulk's backstory. He got all the makings of an angry black man.
Which is why he can't be black. It's too obvious. He's like, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. It's like, no. Here. Whatever you want, sir. Calm down.
That's funny. That's pretty funny.
But yeah, but listen, all these things are on the table in this season because it's just a matter of who's willing to pay for what. You know, who's willing to? It's not just.
Hey, I just want a lot of money. So.
Well, I for one will not be bidding for the angry Negro at auction. Just to let you know.
Fair enough.
Are you sure?
You know, fair enough. I mean, listen, we should probably jump into some news stories, but as we go into the news stories, we'll dip back into some of the characters to be drafted. I will start us off with some comic book news, not really in the purview of our racial drafting because it involves a Image, I believe, comics character.
And Icon?
No, that's Milestone. But Mark Millar, there's more news about Mark Millar a little later, but we'll talk about Mark Millar in this story from a couple weeks ago. He will be doing the movie adaptation for a project called Nemesis. Did you read Nemesis, Randy?
I did not, but I've heard some things.
I have not read Nemesis either. I think he's kind of like an anti-hero. And the movie's going to be made, but it's going to be written by the same screenwriter of Promising Young Woman. You know, which was she an anti-hero? I don't know. She was more like a vigilante, I suppose. So I'm very curious to see what kind of what reason that the evil fans will decide that they hate this project because a woman's writing it.
Well. To be fair, it's Mark Millar property, and he's been known to have like some very edgelordy type content in his work.
This is true.
And there is some stuff of his that I liked. Recently, his comic Prodigy was like really good, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
But here, as somebody, I haven't like read all of his work, and so hearing about some of his past projects, including some of the things that he proposed, like that never actually saw print.
Right. Sure.
I hope that like the other comic adaptation, The Boys, I hope that they kind of tone back maybe some problematic elements that might exist within that work.
Right. And to me, the fact that I apologize for not saying her name the last time. Emerald Fennell is the screenwriter of Promising Young Woman. That she will bring a sensibility to the project that will eliminate or at least mitigate some of the problematic elements, and which problematic elements Millar likes to bring to the table, so to speak. So
he wrote The Boys?
No, he didn't write The Boys. I think it was Garth Ennis, but he wrote Kick-Ass. He wrote.
I just mentioned The Boys.
Okay, never mind. I understand. Never mind. Never mind.
But yeah, so that's the Mark Millar #1 news from a couple weeks ago, the Nemesis movie adaptation. But let's move on to some comic news. As you all know, the acclaimed Ta-Nehisi Coates Black Panther comic run has drawn to a close this past month, last month, I guess, and they have now confirmed who the new writer of the Black Panther comic will be, and it's going to be John Ridley, he who wrote 12 Years a Slave, he who also is writing currently the next Batman for DC, as well as the Secret History. I think it's called the Secret History. No, the Other History of the DC Universe. So he will be writing Black Panther. They did not say how long his run will go. I believe I predicted that earlier in last year. that he would probably take the reins, and it's been confirmed. Do you have any thoughts, TJ, about John Ridley writing Black Panther?
Honestly, I don't know who he is. But I do know the old run. Seeing a new take on the Black Panther, it would be inviting.
Okay, all right. I mean, listen, as someone in the movie industry, you might want to read up on some John Ridley in case you run into him in a coffee, in a little dinner party. You don't want to get caught there and be like, I don't know what you've written, Mr. Ridley. Like, I'm not going to cast you in the next project.
Oh man,
But I mean, I know that there have been a few criticisms of him, particularly in how he deals with female characters. So hopefully he takes note of the way that Ta-Nehisi Coates has written the female characters and continues that aspect of it. But I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what he brings to the table. He only gave like a 1-sentence pitch. It was a hybrid espionage superhero thriller, but at its core, it's a love story. And he said, and I don't mean romantic love, although there's some of that as well. It's love between friends. So that's his tease. And that's going to kick off, I believe, in when? Did you say, is it August? Yes.
I believe
it is
so.
August. Yes, Black Panther 1 under John Ridley will be starting out in August. Kia, are you a fan of John Ridley? Apparently, Kia is not a fan of John Ridley. All right. More news.
No.
Wait, what?
No, actually, no, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I mean, as long as Black Panther isn't as long as 12 Years a Slave, I guess we'll be good.
Fair enough. So I'm going to transition from Black Panther to Dark Hawk. You see what I did there? No.
Lord Jesus.
So there, as we know, that the character of Dark Hawk, despite his name, was a character that was a white guy, Chris Powell. But there will be a new Dark Hawk coming later this summer in a limited series in August, and this series is going to be written by Kyle Higgins, and the design will be Pepe Larraz, and this new character is going to be named Connor Young. And noteworthy about the character, if I can find it, Connor Young is a high school basketball star with the promise of a lucrative NBA career in his near future. But his plans are upended when he's diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
Oh, man.
But then he stumbles upon a powerful alien amulet that gives him the powers of the Darkhawk. So, in his human form, he struggles with multiple sclerosis, but in his superhero form, he has all the powers of the Darkhawk. And it's a new design that I'd love to share with you all, but this is a audio medium, so you're gonna miss out. But yeah, look out for the new Darkhawk.
I'm happily is gonna afford me time to read the classic Darkhawk, because I read the recent the actual thing that like leads up to this new run. I read that dedication issue, and before that I think it was Infinity, I forgot what that little event was. I read that, but I have only kind of seen him as like a character that teams up with other folks. I haven't individually read his comics, so I look forward to reading that comic.
All right, well, looking forward to August, which I believe falls into our drafting period. So maybe if we see some things that we like with Darkhawk, maybe the Black Delegation will make Darkhawk Darker Hawk.
Good job.
Was it, man?
Let's see. We have some more. I would say maybe a
Oh,
little.
that's a very fancy Darkhawk design. I like that.
You said you don't like it?
No, I said it's very fancy. I do like it.
All right. You see, again, listeners, if you are part of our Patreon, you could see the visual aspects of the show. So Patreon/racial draft, not to be confused with our OnlyFans.
I don't think it's dark enough.
I mean, that's you have to go to the OnlyFans for the extra dark, extra long dark.
$12.99 a month.
That's the bigger, blacker, uncut version.
Exactly.
Uncircumcised version?
Oh my God.
But let us switch over to the world of DC. Speaking of the D and the C.
Oh, good transition.
That was good.
The Green Lantern television series. Much maligned by some circles for a variety of reasons. One of them is the fact that they're going to be featuring Green Lanterns in different time periods. And one of them is going to be set in the 1940s. And wouldn't you know it, there is going to be a Green Lantern in the 1940s who's gay. Oh my God, he's gay in the 1940s. That is crazy, yo, because gay people weren't invented until like the present day, obviously.
Yeah, they didn't come out until Pride Month came out, right?
Exactly. Oh, happy Pride. It is June. This was news. This was news from last month before it was Pride Month. But yes, so Alan Scott, who, if you're a hardcore DC head, you might know from the Justice Society, a secret society of people who dress up in flamboyant colors, is apparently, he was recently retconned, I want to say about 10 years ago, as gay. And they've decided to depict that gay character in the Green Lantern series. And they potentially have a casting. It has not been officially confirmed, but strongly hinted that Jeremy Irvine, who you might know from the Treadstone television series, and also Mamma Mia, and the dramas The Professor and the Madman, and The Last Full Measure. He's a British actor. His name is Jeremy Irvine, as I think I said before.
Okay, so real quick question. It's all great and all representation, but like, how are they going to, like, I don't know, like, display that he is gay? Like,
if I had to guess, he's going to hook up with dudes. I feel like,
well, like, but that's like not in the normal, like, writing of, you know what I'm saying? Like, are they gonna make it where it's like, like every episode or every like they're gonna be like, oh, you gotta put in a scene, like, I
think there's probably going to be a lot of scenes of people being like, because it is in the 1940s, there's probably going to be scenes.
It's gonna be like Lovecraft Country.
Is it gonna be? Oh my God! Do you think they're gonna play your favorite song, Mike? Taxi Driver.
Hey, not gonna lie, y'all. The Jeremy Irvine guy, as a man,
he's a good-looking dude.
Bad Religion.
Yeah, he's a good-looking dude. Yeah,
he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
They how old is he? I think he when I actually when I tried to look up the actor, I believe like a lot of people were complaining about how he was younger, and honestly, I feel like that might be like a flashback version of him. I'm not
right, but that's sure. Right, but that's what's so silly about the argument that he's younger. The reason people associate Alan Scott with being old is because Alan Scott is in the present day, so he's old. But Alan Scott in the but what I'm saying is that Alan Scott in the 1940s would have been in his heyday.
When they actually get to like I don't know how close they are gonna play to the comics, but when they there's something about him, like basically kind of living through uh, World War II and all of that stuff, fighting World War II, and he kind of it's something where he ends up like getting his age preserved, but when he gets his age preserved, it's like at like 50 or 60 something years old.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably going to be like like a Captain America type deal where where 70 years pass, but he may have aged 20 years. In that period. So it's like you'll see someone, he'll look 50 years old, but he'll actually be 90 years old.
Right.
Like it's like, I don't know. I felt like it was that particular criticism of, wow, we're going to have a 30-year-old actor play someone in the 1940s as opposed to a 50-year-old actor. It seemed silly. It seemed like not a real criticism.
It's really not. I mean, if anything, the other criticism for me would be some of the folks who haven't shown up yet, haven't been cast for the Green Lantern.
But the hope is, and this is something that, like, this is probably a good time as any to get into it. It's a Green Lantern anthology series.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be multiple Green Lanterns featured. We don't know if it's just going to be a one-season show, but chances are they want it to be successful. They want to have it go for multiple seasons. There's no reason that your favorite Green Lantern, if they're not featured in this series, couldn't be featured in season 2.
Right.
I totally get the logic of saying we're going to have one storyline in the 1940s, one storyline in the 1980s, and one storyline in the present day, and having characters that reflect those time frames. We mentioned on an earlier show that Guy Gardner, who very much seems like one of those like super macho 80s style action heroes, he does seem like a good fit for the 1980s storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Scott, of course, because he's a golden age character, makes sense for the 1940 storyline. And at that point it just becomes a matter of like, well, who do we want to pick to embody the present? And I believe they went with Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz, which makes sense because they were created about 10 years ago. As much as I would like to see Kyle Rayner, I think that the best place to do a Kyle Rayner storyline is probably the 90s, because he's a very 90s character.
And that was when he emerged. Yeah.
And
nice hair, physique, chiseled face, very 90s-esque.
Yeah. Plus he's got like some of like the like kind of anime influences, and I know that anime has been popular for many years, but I do think that the explosion of popularity of anime probably kicked in here in the 90s.
I think the normalcy of it.
Explosion in anime.
Explosion. Hentai, baby. Did I say that out loud? Did I say that
Green tentacles? Green tentacles. You can find that also on our OnlyFans channel. Sorry.
$12.99.
That's right. But I don't know. Like I said, I think that I have not seen this actor's work. I do think he's a good-looking dude. I think he could probably wear the suit really well. And I'm curious to see what happens with the storyline. I'm
nervous that he's going to look like Ryan Reynolds too much.
I see that. I see that.
Chiseled face.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the Ryan Reynolds was always miscast because of how snarky he is. Like, you don't really associate the Green Lanterns with being snarky.
That's a fact.
And that brings us to another DC story. I guess I will stay in the realm of the Green Lantern series, because we know who the director for the first 2 episodes is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
This man has already worked on Superman and Lois. His name is Lee Tolan Krieger, and he's going to be directing, I think, the pilot and the 2nd episode. What is his other work? His other work has included Riverdale, You, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Prodigal Son.
You?
They're all decent shows too.
Yes.
He also directed Shadow and Bone.
Oh,
Okay.
So he's gonna be directing the pilot.
This guy has money.
So that I feel like that bodes well for the
get
Green
money. He has
Lantern series.
control. He has trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Facts.
And he also has a better budget, which means it's not going to be like the CW.
That too.
That is also true. So staying in the realm of DC, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick hit. This is a quick hit. The Naomi series. Randy, did you read the Naomi book?
Oh yes, I'm keeping very close eye on Naomi because I'm still kind of waiting for them to flesh her out more. So yeah.
Stukes, you said you did read the Naomi book?
No, I'm auditioning for a role, for a main role.
Oh, well, I don't want to, I don't want you to say anything that's going to ruin your chances of getting on the show.
No.
But the Naomi series,
I've been reading.
That will be picked up. So we could have a future CW actor in Stukes here. You won't be able to talk about any of his roles, but maybe you can give us some insight.
And he can get us on set.
July 14th.
When did you say you were auditioning?
July 14th in Atlanta.
July 14th. So stay tuned, listeners. And maybe Stukes will come in either with a shit-eating grin or with a I got shit on grin.
You better not be grin.
So
wait, I've said too much.
Let me tell you this small tidbit. So I went to Atlanta about a month and a half ago to audition for Wakanda, the series.
For the Wakanda series,
Yes. And they shitted on me so hard. Like, you are not dark enough, sir. You're looking for a guy. And I'm like, damn, like y'all invited me. Like,
he's like, I can tan.
And then it was like, but you could be an extra if you want.
You're like, no. I'll just have to play one of the evil black people who fight the Black Panther. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, but yeah, listen, go back if you have the DC Universe Infinite, I think it's called. If you have that, you can probably find all the issues of the Naomi series, and you can get caught up in time for the debut of the Naomi show on CW.
I mean, in this same vein, it's kind of interesting that I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in previous episodes, but she doesn't really have a whole heck of a lot to catch up on, honestly.
That's right.
Yeah, she's like super new, fresh out the box. Like she had, I believe she had an arc in Action Comics. She had her solo her solo title, which I think was only 5 issues, and she's been part of Young Justice,
and now she's part of the Justice League.
Yeah,
that's an amazing rise, amazing high profile rise.
Exactly.
I'm not a huge DC reader, but I can't remember the last time a character within 2 years of debuting ended up in the Justice League.
Well, I mean, honestly, the only similar rise of a character I could think of is the Silencer a couple years ago. They, she came out like 2017, and then like
yes, but then was in the Arrow. Yeah,
right.
but in that situation, she just was kind of like a bit character in Arrow.
Right. Exactly. That's why I say that it still stands out, because there's nothing that's comparable to this. Like that's the closest we got beforehand.
No, but I think that has happened before. I think that there have been characters that have been, debuted in the comics and then within a year or two showed up in live action, but just as a side character. I think that has happened quite a bit. But in terms of going from a brand new character to a character in the premier team like the Justice League, and the focal point of their big storytelling, obviously it helps that Brian Michael Bendis, who created the character, is also writing this book.
maybe a similar rise would have been like John Henry Irons, Steel, because like he around the time that he premiered and stuff, like got his movie and stuff within a couple of years of each other, and he like in the Justice League.
But 3 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, not long.
Yeah.
Not long at all.
Right. But you know, is being played by Shaq in a movie, is that like did that really work out for him?
Perfect.
No, I'm not saying that it worked, but I'm saying that kind of similar attempt to push the character's profile. And like, you know, back then, of course, they didn't take, you know, comic book movies seriously. So obviously they kind of, you know, gave it a half-hearted attempt. But it's still kind of interesting to see that Naomi really does feel like, you know, as you said, like kind of the first one to really get that genuine push just out the gate. Like comic is getting pushed, and she's getting not just being part of the Justice League, but getting a solo TV show.
Right.
So
yeah. So I mean, just for clarification's sake, so his first appearance was in June 1993, and his movie came out in 1997. So 4 years. You know, 4 years is a.
So, but think about this, right? With Naomi, like with Vixen, they gave her a show that was 5 minutes long each episode that they made you wait a week for.
Well, let's not even get on the subject of that show, because quite frankly, like it makes me so mad that they basically had to like they didn't even have the confidence that one full episode of a cartoon Vixen could have been successful. So they gave us little chunklets individually to try to like hopefully see this movie. Like,
is it really a show if it can? Is it really a show if every episode can air during the commercial breaks of another?
It is a pilot. It is a pilot.
Not even a pilot.
They kind of sort of wanted the show, but then they were like, it's a black woman, not sure. Like, they really didn't know what was on.
Welcome to America.
Episode. Like, come on.
Yeah,
I felt like the credits for the show was longer than the actual show. I'm not.
I mean, they really were like extremely super hesitant, and I'm like, you might as well have just not done it. It just is baffling to me that they would go through all of the effort to like make this like oh, it's such a big deal. We're finally giving a black woman representation and letting her be, you know, her own solo feature.
Oh, well, thank you.
No, but they put it on Seed, which nobody freaking watched. That nobody goes on Seed like that. That's not, that's not something that is always like a word of mouth type thing.
Right.
People be reminded that Seed is freaking there. Like nobody goes on that just of their own accord. So for them to do that, it felt so just ridiculous. And so seeing Naomi get their push again is a huge leap and bound over that.
Yeah. And you know, Jen, one last thing about the Vixen thing, they had the nerve to like triple market it, right? So like when it was happening and it was like 5-minute segments for like 12 weeks, they were like, see the new episode of Vixen, 5 minutes, you know? And then when the season ended, they did this whole big thing. It's like, watch the entire season of Vixen on the CW, you know, at 8 o'clock. But the way that they market it like it was something new. Yeah. So all these people were like, oh, yeah, of course. I want to show up and see the new CW series Vixen. And then they watched it and they were like, oh, this is it. There's no more. There's like a pilot.
What you said, Mike, to piggyback what you said, when they put her in a live action show, they put her as a far side character.
Yeah.
Far on the outskirts. And then they wrote her out immediately. Like she's great. It's like great to appear. Like, you know, obviously we know each other from all of our animated adventures. But
like damn, she's too strong of a black woman.
Vixen showed up on Arrow to be the Bloodhound. That was how she showed up. She was like, I think it was somebody's son got kidnapped. I think it was Oliver's.
It was Oliver's child.
Yeah. Okay. The child gets kidnapped, and he's like, I know somebody who can help, and he brings in Vixen to Smith like an
and it was like what's the name? It was like the same. It was similar to how in like it what do you call it in Infinity Wars? Like all of a sudden you hear like the drums.
Yeah, like and then they had her like sniff out to try to find the missing child. She summons like the spirit of a gorilla or whatever. But she is strong enough to like face the actual villain guy, like Damien Dark, I think it is. Yep. And she gets knocked up to the side. You're like, oh well, so you were worthless. What did they call you here for? Like it is crazy to me that she was in the episode. She was in the show for all of like 2 or 3 episodes, right. And she just was like, So I mean,
and that's why Vixen will not be drafted in season 3 of the racial draft, because
DC Comics does not think enough of her to draft her into their pages. So no, she will not be drafted.
Yes, she doesn't get enough respect to be drafted. Although she did have a good arc in the what's the name of that book?
Truth and Justice.
Truth and Justice. She had a pretty good 5-episode arc in Truth and Justice.
Yeah.
So in this most recent season, she probably put up more points than let's look.
Krakoa,
yes.
That's funnier than it should be.
That's facts. But let's talk about like even more racism. Because I don't know if you guys remember, guys, we did the supplemental draft in season 2, and everybody laughed it up. Everybody laughed it up when the white delegation drafted a dog, because white people love dogs. That dog is getting a movie, guys.
Oh yeah.
Crypto the super dog. Kia, Crypto the super dog is getting a movie.
Dear Lord.
Dwayne Johnson is pulling a group on us.
Yes. I was going to get there, Stukes, but you jumped the gun.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
The voice of Crypto is going to be Dwayne The Rock Johnson, which means it's going to be a hit movie.
Can we just take a break? Like, I love Dwayne and all, but like seriously,
he cannot take a break.
Everywhere.
That is his job. He's
everywhere,
like,
you gotta remember, when he was a wrestler, he was on 12 months out the year.
Yeah,
he's used to not having breaks.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in it. He's like, nope, I'm everywhere.
He's like a bigger Kevin Hart.
But so yes. So the Superman dog will be getting a movie.
For a Black woman.
That's right. Thank you for following up. White dog movie, Black woman. We'll talk about it.
Wow. So reflective of real life. It's actually kind of sad.
But Crypto the super dog. So still
a question, is that animated?
It is animated. It is animated.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be
like, will the dog have muscles like Dwayne?
He's gonna have muscles. He's gonna have all the Superman powers.
They had to make sure.
Actually, I'd like to make him look like Kevin Hart, honestly. Like, and then have
Dwayne. It's going to be called DC League of Super Pets. So there is a possibility that Kevin Hart would do the voice of one of these pets.
Yeah, like
the one between pet monkey Gleek. Calling it now.
I was gonna say he was gonna play like the cat, the flying cat, who I think is gonna be a Green Lantern.
Wait, what? Oh, the other
Red Lantern?
Oh no, the Red Lantern. Yes, that's right. There's a Red Lantern cat.
He's a beast. I
keep forgetting his name.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't try to remember, but like I know cats are really popular. So
I think it's like Dak Star or something like that.
I haven't decided whether they're going to whether it's racially offensive to draft for people of color to animals, but we'll talk about it.
No, go ahead, try it. I'll let you know.
I hate cats.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
But yeah, so look out
awesome.
for DC League of Super Pets and Crypto highlighting his own movie. DC. Speaking of DC animated, Injustice, Gods Among
Yes.
Us.
Fucking yes.
If you don't
Wait,
feel
do that
like
do that one more time, Stukes.
Fucking yes.
I love it.
if you feel like DC is not killing enough people in their movies, Injustice Gods Among Us might be for you.
Fucking yes.
It is based on the idea that the Joker killed Lois Lane because, why not kill a woman? And that leads to Superman just going batshit crazy, becoming a badass, taking over the world, and becoming a fascist dictator.
Because that's the only line that is separating him from becoming a fascist dictator, obviously.
Look,
Because
I know.
he realized that these petty humans are petty humans.
To defend the honor of a white woman?
Oh, I have to clarify. Not just his wife Lois, but his unborn child as well. So that did it. That was a trigger. That was a trigger.
My finger
Wait, so he
close
didn't
to the
give his
camera
kid.
because of that.
That's
Wait,
giving
time
me
out.
14 letters. It's giving me 14 words.
Was Superman's kids ordinary?
I don't know. We don't know because it was an
Because
unborn
I
child.
mean, like, it's kind of his fault. Like, it came out.
I mean, not kind of.
I mean, all I'm saying is that is a perfectly appropriate and reasonable response to someone murdering your wife and unborn child.
Obviously.
Become a overlord dictator of the world rather than just go after the one person who killed.
That is by far so besides the death of Superman, Injustice is by far my favorite DC story, whatever Elseworld canon, fucking all that shit. Like, that is by far my favorite story.
So wait, real quick.
That is awesome.
Listeners, don't mess with Stukes' family is what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, what man in his right mind hasn't had his children threatened and suddenly feel the need to take over the entire world? I mean,
like, listen, last time my family was threatened, I did 5 years probation.
Well, but you did probation. You didn't like lead a new Reich to take over the world. Like, that's not you did
right.
I'm just saying.
You're absolutely right.
You didn't turn yourself into dictator Stukes.
You're right.
you didn't like become like Fidel Castro or like Gaddafi or somebody. You handled the guy who did the offense, correct?
Okay, I did handle him.
Yes.
He was about 62 days in the hospital.
Yes. Which
good job.
Appropriate. Superman becoming evil Superman, probably not appropriate.
Again, that's the proportional response.
Yes.
Just saying.
But it is a fun fighting game. It is a fun fighting game. I won't deny that.
And I quote.
Well, he did it on a super level.
He says, all of you who don't know how to have peace, I'm going to teach you to have peace.
Peace be man of steel. Peace be man of steel.
I just want to ask, pretend I've never read a DC Comics book before. So this whole world that was taken over by Superman, I'm going to assume there was some sort of like resistance. If I had to guess who was in charge of the resistance, who was the hero that was leading the fight against Superman, it wouldn't be by any chance Batman.
Not Batman.
No, it couldn't be, right? It wouldn't be Batman. I mean, that would be crazy for them to say that, like, with all the other superheroes that Superman would just like brutally murder, that Batman would be the one that would stand alone on the side of good, right? No, that's crazy.
That'd be insane. What?
That would be ludicrous.
Yeah.
Absolutely blasphemous.
Yeah. All these other heroic characters done in instantly. Done, killed. Somehow Batman though.
That'll be crazy.
Yeah.
It'll
Unheard
also
of.
be truth.
Spoilers, it's Batman. It's always Batman. Speaking of Batman, there is a new Batman animated series coming from Bruce Timm, who created the 90s Batman animated series. Kia, are you a fan of the classic Batman the animated series?
Of course.
Well, it's going to be called Batman Caped Crusader.
Mm.
Also, related news.
So he's gonna be caping.
He's going to be caping. He's going to be caping for his favorite stars. There's also going to be an animated Superman animated series.
Can we get more new superheroes, please? Like seriously.
So,
I hate Batman.
so when I heard these two stories, I thought to myself, I mean, I've heard a lot of talk about this DC Trinity, right? So if there's going to be a new Batman cartoon and there's going to be a new Superman cartoon, clearly there's going to be a new Wonder Woman cartoon any minute now. They're going to announce it, right? No?
Because DC obviously cares about women and people of color and LGBT people. Yes, that's obviously what's going to happen.
So,
The fact that you are laughing that hard, Randy, I don't know, has me in my feels.
It just tickled me because like kids over here like, dang, can they give a new character a show? And then you're over here like, oh yeah, there must be Wonder Woman on the way. I'm like, y'all, don't let Marvel spoil you. It's DC. No, that's
so I'm just letting you guys know that I started holding my breath when this story came out on May 19th. I am now podcasting from the afterlife because I was waiting for that Wonder Woman announcement that and I died waiting for it.
Hopefully you went.
But hey, one day.
So, Mike, your opinion. What is the next big announcement that DC has? Just your opinion solely.
Are you talking about all of DC or are you talking about like DC?
Just DC, the entire Detective Comics.
Wow, that's big. That would be anything.
Batman is dead.
Wait, say it again, Kia.
Your opinion.
No, Kia.
Oh no, I said Batman is dead.
Oh no, that's
a great announcement.
Yeah, that's definitely not happening. Batman went to Krypton, had sex with Superman's mother, and it's actually Superman's father. I could
I can stick with that father narrative. Not only did I have sex with this person, but I also had sex with their father. That's right. And then look,
a time traveling Batman had a threesome with with Superman's parents, and is actually the true father of Kal-El.
Look, I'm sorry.
This makes sense.
Sorry, Cal.
Who's your daddy?
I'm the one who named you Cal.
Exactly. No, I don't know. I have to sit on that. I have to think about that. I'll come back to the answer to what I think DC's big announcement will be. Let's see. Do we have more DC news, or can we transition to? Let's transition to something. Let's transition to something that's neither Marvel nor DC. In the comic book taint, as it were. Kia, are you a fan of the Jupiter's Legacy television series?
I know somebody that is. Hold on, let me think. Stukes is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys are both going to be unhappy to find out that they are not continuing on with Jupiter's Legacy. No more Jupiter.
They're idiots.
The Legacy was a 1-season legacy, I guess, and it's been canceled. They're moving on.
They are idiots.
However, because Mark Millar still has to deal with Netflix, they are also in the same message. They said that they will be moving forward with a adaptation of Super Crooks, which takes place in the same
Super
world.
Crunk?
Super Crooks.
Oh,
Wait, time out. Go back to Jupiter's Legacy. I just realized what that was. It all came to me now. I'm a little delayed. Oh my God. Why would they do that? I am so
Thank
upset
you.
right now. Oh my gosh. Seriously?
Thank you, Michael, for stalling long enough for her to Google.
Delayed reaction, people. Delayed reaction.
But yes, yeah. So no more Jupiter's Legacy. But Super Crooks, you know, long live Super Crooks, which is based around villains. No more heroes, only villains. My guess is that there will be sexual assault because it's Mark Millar.
Oh God, boy.
Yeah.
Because you
So
can't
The
have
Boy.
crooks. Yeah.
Netflix version of The Boys.
That's what probably they're gonna aim for. So that's our comic book taint story. It involves Super Crooks. But let's go down to where we like the work.
Go down.
Oh, wait. I had one more piece of DC news. I apologize to the DC fans. Kia, did you see Bad Boys for Life? Randy and TJ or Randy and Stu?
Oh, sorry about that. I had to take myself off mute. The newest one?
Mm-hmm.
The one where he's like in Miami and he's being like somebody's trying to kill him or something like that. Will Smith.
I enjoyed that movie very much.
Yeah,
Yes.
I liked it.
Well, the
I liked it a lot.
directors of Bad Boys for Life, Adil Al-Arbi and Bilal Fallah, they are going to be directing for Warner Brothers a movie which may or may not be on
Called Life for Bad Boys.
No, they're going to be directing a comic book movie, and it's going to revolve around Batgirl.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Now they are also going to be directing this coming year. I think either the end of this year or the beginning of next year. They're going to be directing Ms. Marvel for Marvel. So they're going from Ms. Marvel to Batgirl, and now the script will still be written by a woman, Christina Hodson, who also wrote Bumblebee and Birds of Prey, and she's also writing the Flash movie, the alleged Flash movie, as we like to say here on the show.
The Batman movie,
the Flash movie, the Batman featuring the Flash.
Flash into the Batman verse.
Mo Batman's Mo problems, as we say. So yes, Christina Hodson will be writing the screenplay for this Batgirl movie, but it will be directed by Adil Arbi and Bilal Fallah. So if you like Bad Boys for Life, you can like Batgirls for Life. I don't know. I mean, I tried. Kier, are you psyched about this?
I mean, I always like seeing women in roles, where they're actually doing things other than like, backing you up, man. Or like, here, let me help you out and be your sidekick, man. I mean, I like that, but at the same time, I'm worried. I'm still a little worried. Like, I need to see it when it comes out. Hopefully they don't fail us and make it
what
weak.
I want to know is that, as part of the multiracial delegation, might you have your eye on Batgirl?
I mean,
I know you're going to ask if she scored points.
I mean, actually, well, yeah, points aside though. Yeah, I mean, like when I did the racial draft before, I had a heavy female roster and they definitely came through and murdered everyone. So yeah, I mean, I don't see how, like, if it coincides, if the stars align, like if points align and all that stuff, I don't see why not.
Well, what I'd like to say is she does not currently have a solo book right now, but I imagine she will have one soon. She's a co-star in the Nightwing book. She makes frequent appearances in the Batman books because she's now the new person in the chair. In season 2.
Well, I was gonna actually ask, like, your Did they confirm that it was going to be Barbara Gordon, or did they say like that it was going to be a Batgirl movie? Because like there's been more than one Batgirl. So.
Well, all of the media around it said it was going to center on Barbara Gordon, but no one from DC
Okay.
specifically said that. Now, of course, there is a Batman universe, a universe associated with the Matt Reeves, the Batman. We don't know if it's going to be connected to that. I would probably say no, because Christina Hodson has been writing movies set in the
Right.
what some people call the DC extended universe, but what I call movies
Mhm.
made by DC.
Made by these.
I
So
mean, I genuinely am not really sure what to think, just because they've DC at this point has kind of waffled on whether or not they're going to actually move past the Zack Snyder verse or whatever, and we haven't seen. Um, Basically, I think the by the time the Flash movie comes out, whenever that is, it
the
will
Randy,
kind of
the alleged Flash movie. Sorry,
yeah,
the alleged.
it will basically give us the implication whether or not we can actually expect Ben Affleck's Batman to like continue. Like I think we're at this point in time is a point of flux where we don't actually know, and I'm fairly certain that it's not going to be like a totally disconnected. Like I don't think it's going to be like Batgirl is not connected to the Batman or the previous universe that we've seen. I think she's going to be connected to one or the other. And so,
No, I agree with
I
that.
feel
I think she's more likely to be, honestly, I think she's more likely to be connected to the mainline DC universe
Mhm.
than the universe of the Batman, because Matt Reeves, his name isn't associated anywhere with this production. And what I've noticed
Right.
is that a lot of the things that are connected to his universe, whether it's an HBO Max or an animated series, Matt Reeves has been involved as an executive producer. And the fact that he's missing from that, and as you all know, Barbara Gordon has a relationship with the Birds of Prey in the comic books. So I could see Christina Hodson kind of folding her Batgirl story into, the Birds of Prey.
Yeah, I mean that again that kind of makes me feel uncertain as to who they intend to be Batgirl, because they have, you know, Barbara Gordon hasn't shown up, but Cassandra Cain has. And so I don't know, maybe if this is like they're going to show Barbara Gordon and then have her like, oh, she inspires Cassandra Cain to train or whatever. That obviously is a huge uh, divergence away from her comic origin. But
Mhm.
I'm kind of like, it's kind of difficult to feel confident speculating on what exactly we're going to get, because they DC's plans seem like they're kind of all over the place, and so I'm hoping that there's like a coherent idea that, that shows up here.
Like, I personally think, I mean, Barbara Gordon's a really popular character.
Mm-hmm.
She's all over the comics. She's even in the Harley Quinn series. She played a pretty big role in season 2 of that. I think it's going to be Barbara Gordon, but I do think that there's a possibility that they could intersect the Cassandra Cain story with the Barbara Gordon story, and like I said, intersect the Birds of Prey story with the Barbara Gordon story, and make that the sort of the continuing thread for like whatever is happening in Gotham will happen. I mean, I think there was a rumor a few months back that Bruce Wayne would be the man in the chair for
Mm-hmm.
Batgirl, almost kind of like a Batman Beyond type deal, but with Batgirl instead.
That would be interesting.
I could see them trying to do that, especially if they want to bring Michael Keaton's Batman somehow into their universe. Who knows with all their multiverse shenanigans, how everything's gonna eventually end up. But I do think that Barbara Gordon is going to be their first cut of Batgirl. She's a tremendously popular character. She's had these like cool costumes that people like. she's still the first person that people think of when they think Batgirl.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the direction that they'll go. But beyond that first movie, who's to say that they'll that they might not open up the brand a little bit more. So as a representative of the Black delegation, are you possibility of trying to bring Barbara Gordon into the fold?
Well, nothing would make me happier than upsetting white people by negrifying their precious redhead.
Oh yeah, that is a good point. What was the new term that I saw this week?
Ginger side.
Oh yeah, because apparently
Is that in condoms?
Changing I mean it does feels like something that should taste very good. But like yeah, apparently race bending redhead is the equivalent of eradicating a species. Sure.
I mean I think that Barbara Gordon obviously is a worthy character. Like I will never sit here and trash talk Barbara Gordon. She's amazing. She's great. I particularly like her as Oracle because that's that's the role that I'm most familiar with her in. But she's never been a slouch. My only thing is I would hope that she would have her own solo thing. Like I mean, she's obviously co-starring in other things, but those appearances aren't really necessarily like predictable. Like you can assume, okay, yes, she'll be in this arc, but maybe she'll be there for just an issue, or maybe she'll be there like for numerous issues, or maybe the arc will focus specifically on her. You don't really know. So I'm trying to kind of wait and see. DC doesn't really give me confidence in that direction.
And this is not quite Batman. This is not quite this is not quite Batgirl. So, but I recently, over the last week, I finally watched the Lego Batman movie. Have you guys all seen that?
I have not.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max, so it was an easy watch. But
hey, can I have your password?
Not live on the podcast, but we can talk about it.
All right.
But
cool.
But yeah, in that movie, the role of Barbara Gordon was voiced by Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, that's true.
So
was her man in the background?
Who's her man again?
Booker, Cory Booker.
Probably not. Then probably not. I was gonna say some like Cory Booker slander, but that's just coming from the hate in my heart because he's having sex with Rosario Dawson.
Do it.
But
choose violence.
All I was just saying is that Latinx delegation, if you're trying to make a move on Barbara Gordon, I see you.
I mean, they took over Gotham last time, so I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to go for that again.
I know it was a successful
strategy. They're gonna
strategy.
try to do a lot of things, but you know what? There's somebody here to cock block. There's 2 thumbs and is ready to cock block this girl.
Cock block.
But
I didn't have no say. Cock blocker.
Now this isn't a traditional Marvel or DC news, but I feel like it's only important that for the people who listen on behalf of the Native American delegation. Kia, are you familiar with a movie called Predator?
Wow, that's the racist thing you've ever said to me. Wow, that is the most racist thing you've ever said in my life. Oh, because I have braids. You just want to ask me if I know Predator? Because I wear locks. You want to ask me if I know what fucking Predator is, Mike? Is this really where you want to go with this, Mike? Is this really? You chose violence today, Mike? Huh? This is what you did, Mike? Okay, I see you.
Well, they are rebooting Predator
again.
Like seriously? Are they doing it because of the whole alien thing and like UFOs or whatever? Seriously, can I just like have a moment for a second? This is gonna be like a 20-second rant real quick. I'm just saying, where is original thought? Have we lost it? Can we use our mother freaking imaginations and pick something else? Stop rebooting shit. Make something else up. Make something else up.
Okay.
I am done.
Speaking,
I'm Kia, and I am done speaking.
Piggybacking on yours, what is the best reboot that exists?
Well, wait. Before we do this, I need to continue with my news story real quick because they are rebooting Predator, and it will be led by a Native American actress.
Oh shit!
An actress that you might be familiar with if you watch the show Legion on FX. Amber Midthunder will be the lead of the new Predator franchise. Kia, are you familiar with Amber Midthunder?
She said she dropped the mic
and I'm trying to I'm trying to refrain from having so many jokes right now. Like so many jokes. I ain't shit.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and drop an image link in our chat, and you can take a look at her, and you can report back.
And Carlos, I see your face. Carlos has just come to the podcast.
We have just been joined.
He's giving me the disapproving stare, and he's like shaking his head. He's like, "Oh no, don't do it, yeah, oh no."
Yes, from the Latinx delegation, defending champions of season 2 of the racial draft.
He's pretty full.
Carlos, we had a lot of news stories. Feel free to jump in.
Random. She reminds me of that girl in the Transformers with Mark Wahlberg.
Okay.
I'm not a Transformer.
He's a Transformer.
I can see that.
Hey,
Wow.
I'm a New Yorker. Don't mind me.
Well, Amber Midthunder was a big fan of her work on Legion. Have not seen her other work. She will be appearing in a movie called The Ice Road with noted hypothetical murder of Black people, Liam Neeson. And
oh Lord. God, not Lord.
But I will imagine that in the current season of the racial draft, Amber Midthunder will be used as a fan cast at some point for the Native American delegation. But yeah, let's listen. Carlos is here. We're real quick. We're gonna ask for maybe your one sentence response to all the news stories that we've gone through real quick.
I mean, do you like the top 3? Like, I mean,
fine the top 3.
It's just me. You know what I'm gonna say? As long as you keep it weird.
New Black Panther writer John Ridley.
As long as you keep it weird. No, I'm good. That's okay. Let's
Alan
see.
Scott being cast by Jeremy Irvine.
Those are names I don't know.
All right.
What? Oh my God, Carlos!
Crypto the Superdog, voiced by The Rock.
Oh, okay. I saw that story and was like, "What have we? Maybe we've done it all." Have you guys seen Teen Titans Go to the Movies?
I have. Yes.
I have not.
There's that great.
Oh no! I haven't seen that. No, I've seen the other
Teen
one.
Titans Go to the Movies.
Teen Titans versus the other Teen Titans. That's what I saw.
Teen Titans Go to the Movies is hilarious, and saw it in theaters with my kids. But there's a part where they go to see the debut of the new Batman movie, and there's all these trailers for and Robin keeps thinking it's going to be the trailer for his new Robin movie, and it's like Alfred the movie, and then it's like Batmobile the movie, and like it was ridiculous. Except that we got a Pennyworth show, and there's
there's a Pennyworth comic set in the universe of the.
There's a Batmobile movie coming out, isn't there?
Isn't there?
There is a Batmobile movie coming out. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't put that in the docket. I need to look that up. Is it going to be like Fast and the Furious?
I could understand why you wouldn't put it in the docket because it sounds like it's an article from The Onion. Who the freak would ever think about
it is literally a joke from Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Wow. That is crazy.
So The Rock is Crypto the Superdog. It's like, okay, sure. Why? Of course. Of course.
And oh yes, the Bad Boys for Life filmmakers will direct the Batgirl movie.
Okay.
And now you're all caught up. You're all
Bad
caught up.
girls, bad girls. What you gonna do?
I was doing all right before I was caught up.
So we're gonna talk about the Sony Marvel world,
Oh Lord.
where apparently
Oh, disclaimer, just real quick, Sony. I just want to say I want to give you guys a shout out. Like, I love your equipment. I love your stuff.
Good job. Product placement. Product placement.
I'm gonna hit you with
great.
three. I'm gonna hit
Anything
you
is
with
great.
three Sony Marvel news stories, and I feel like at least one of the three stories will yield a positive reaction. Aaron Taylor Johnson. Kier, are you a fan of Aaron Taylor Johnson?
Yes.
He is going to be playing Kraven the Hunter.
Nice. I am so psyched.
I can hear his accent already.
I have kind of conflicting feelings about this because I like Aaron Taylor Johnson, obviously. And I also like Kraven the Hunter, again, obviously. But I really, I mean, have you seen him? But no, but I really like the actor and I like the character, but I also really, really, really want Quicksilver to come back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I'm not sure how they're gonna play it out.
Well, that's not happening anymore.
Well, I don't know, and that's what I'm saying.
Didn't he die?
Yes, he did, and
oh my god! I mean, I'm just saying, like, I don't. You know me and reading and watching things, and I knew that. I mean, come on.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I am in the camp of Quicksilver denialism that just because he's dead doesn't mean that he's gonna stay dead forever. So I want him to come back, and hopefully they make time in his schedule for him to show up in like a post-credit scene in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness to be like, haha, I am back from death. So I'm hoping.
So,
with his white hair, like
I think you kind of got boned in that possibility. No, never mind.
I'm it's okay, Mike. You can have your phallic references.
But anyway,
I said, he gotta have his hair like Ace Ventura, where he was like called the White Devil, but with white hair.
Like I was not expecting this casting for Kraven the Hunter. I'm still curious on them doing a Kraven the Hunter solo series in the Sony world, but I'm pretty okay with Aaron Taylor Johnson as an actor, and hopefully he does well in the role.
My question: does he have to get more jacked?
Yes, he does. He does have to, and he has to grow his beard. He has to grow his beard even larger.
Shout out to Corey
I did not
recognize
recognize his beard in when he wore it in Tenet. I didn't know that was Aaron Taylor.
Oh, I knew that face anywhere. Oh yes,
because it's on his wall.
Oh yes,
like 1996.
So I'm gonna say that's 1 out of 1 for positive reaction to the Sony news. Secondary Sony news. The Sony executive, I'm gonna get his name in a second. He said,
what's his name?
His name is Sanford Panich.
No, that's not his name. There's no way.
No,
that's a made-up name.
Say it again.
He said he is not confirming. He is reassuring us that yes, Sony does have a plan.
I kind of feel like isn't
Spider
pantage like kind of like
movies.
That's a lot of pantage showing. Like I feel like
yeah.
I'm very amused by the fact that you had to put that as a separate story from the Kraven movie announcement. Like, I mean, yeah, okay, sure, Jan. We'll believe you when that actually happens. We'll let me see the movie and let me see the plans first before you try to tell us there's some mystical, magical plan behind the scenes.
I love that they led off the article. This is the first line of the article. When director David Leitch and Brad Pitt told Sony Pictures Motion Picture Group president Sanford Panitch that they were keen to cast Alan Taylor Johnson for the ensemble thriller Bullet Train, Panitch wasn't super aware of the British actor.
What?
It was I had to look him up kind of thing, Panitch tells Variety. I didn't have a lot of
Low key
familiarity.
shade.
So this is an actor who he later cast to play Kraven the Hunter. So it's based on his Bullet Train appearance, apparently. But yeah, he has a plan. The Sony executives have a plan to somehow connect their Spider-Man in the MCU with their Spider-ish characters in the I'm not going to play around with acronyms, in the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters.
That man is working on Star-Lord logic. He has 12% of a plan. If you check his emails right now, he does not have a plan.
I
do not believe him.
So this is his exact quote. There actually is a plan. I think now maybe it's getting a little more clear for people where we're headed. And I think when No Way Home comes out, even more will be revealed.
You definitely, I remember
when more comes out, even more will be revealed. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
I got really toxic, and the first thing I thought of, I said, like, may I curse on this?
Yeah, we've been cursing the whole time, Stukes.
No, please.
I didn't
do both ones.
The first thing I said was, all right, suck my dick. Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, yeah.
I just want to point out, Stukes has said, suck my dick. Yes.
Yes. It's a thing New Yorkers say when they like don't know what else to say except that.
Fair enough.
I usually just say milk them.
Well, I think that the pan itch is not going to panic by letting people know that there is no plan.
Well,
Carlos love that.
I think that Panitch is not going to pan out, because you can say whatever he wants to say. I do not care what he says. He can say whatever he wants to say, because they have done literally nothing at all to
Randy with the save.
No, for real. But like, I'm kidding, of course, dad joke. But they have, like, you have so many other Spider characters that for you to even dip immediately into Sinister Six characters and be like, hey, yeah, let's take this villain who's never had a solo title ever at all and put him in his own solo movie. Yeah, that clearly tells me that you don't know what you're doing. And so even if you do have a plan, I'm not sure I'm gonna like what the plan turns out to be.
It's a big fact.
I'm gonna start using the hashtag planage, and we'll see how it goes.
It's reminding me of the dude from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, who was like suggesting headlines to J. Jonah Jameson.
So I'm gonna give that a thumbs down. I'm gonna say that most people are not approving of this one. So it's 1 for 2. We're 1 for 2 on the stories from the Sony Spidey universe. But we just had from yesterday big news.
Mm-hmm.
Big news. Kia. I want to hear Kia's response first before everyone else. There is a sequel, Kia, to Into the Spider-Verse. You familiar with that movie, Kia? Yes, I know.
Yes, I am.
I know you haven't seen it, but one day you will.
Oh, so that's why you wanted my response, so you could low key just burn me.
Yes,
burn me on this platform.
Of course.
Yeah, way to respect your Black queens. Okay, cool.
But Jessica Drew is going to appear in Into the Spider-Verse sequel. And they have cast a voice actor to play her. Would you like to hear
Kia Bernstein?
Would you like to hear who she is?
I guess you're going to tell me.
I am going to tell you. Issa Rae will be voicing Jessica Drew.
Oh my God, that is Black Girl Magic in the making. So I see now why you had to bash me because I see it now. You have to bash a Black woman just to, because like another Black woman won. You got two people with at the same time. It's all good, man. Okay, I see you. Oh.
Of things that make me insecure. But yes, Issa Rae. Randy, as a representative from the Black delegation,
I mean,
how do you feel about the possibility of Black Jessica Drew?
I am a representative of the Black delegation, but I am also a fan of Jessica Drew. I love the character. She is amazing. Her backstory is so very cool, and she's just like the best thing. So to have Issa Rae in that role, first of all, I'm just happy Jessica Drew is showing up. But then to have that they, got somebody who is such a good, a great personality to kind of embody the energy behind that character, I am all the way 1,000% here for it.
But are we sure she's going to be Black just because we're using Issa Rae's voice?
We are not sure. In fact, we're not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know for sure, but at least I will say that she is a character who that kind of I guess that sort of humor you would kind of think of, if you were totally just disregarding race, she would kind of be one of the first people that you would think of, honestly.
Yeah. If honestly, like my guess is that she's going to be, they're going to color her in such a way that if you are inclined to see her as Black, you'll see her as a light-skinned Black woman. But if you're inclined to assume,
that's so nice of them.
That if you're inclined to assume that that everybody's white, you'll just think, oh no, she's just got a tan.
Honestly, I have been thinking for a while that they should do something in terms of race bending Jessica Drew. Just because, she is a character who is she's British. So technically, if they wanted to, there's a lot of different races and ethnicities that, are British people. So they could have been like, oh yeah, we're gonna get, someone who, has some melanin. But this is at least a nice start to say that, we're getting, raising the profile of both the character and the actor to kind of have them be.
Yes, because her profile isn't big enough.
No, but I'm saying in terms, okay, put it this way: there's people who don't necessarily think of Issa Rae in terms of just superhero stuff, or wouldn't think that she would be in something like this, or you kind of get her out of trying to pigeonhole her into one thing that she can do.
I feel you. Well,
I'll let that slide. I'll let it go. I'll let it happen.
As someone who's also rooting for everybody Black.
Wait, time out. Hold on. I want to hear Carlos's take on this.
I love it. And I think that was an astute observation for someone who hasn't seen the first one, that doesn't necessarily mean Jessica Drew is going to be Black, because Zoe Kravitz was the voice of Mary Jane in the first Spider-Verse movie. So it is possible that
definitely looked like regular white old Mary Jane.
Yeah, she looked like regular ass Mary Jane. She did not look like Zoe Kravitz.
Definitely part Jewish.
Yes, definitely a Kravitz. But yeah, I'm down. I love Issa Rae, so I'm excited for anything Spider-Verse because that movie is flawless.
Best Marvel movie out.
You know what? We might do a racial draft Spider-Verse screening in the next coming week and upcoming weeks. So if you're a listener and you'd like to get in on the Spider-Verse screening where you can laugh along with some of the crew from the racial drafts community, we can make that happen.
I just saw someone the other day. Someone pointed out, because the Spider-Verse is a movie that you can watch 100 times and notice something different every time. And someone just pointed out that the moment in that movie where
Miles meets Peter Parker, his Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Their spider senses are talking to each other, and his spider sense goes from being purple and green Prowler colors to being red and blue Spider-Man colors.
Ooh,
like
the
moment that changed his life.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's so good.
That was a spoiler.
It's kind of a spoiler,
yeah.
but as far as spoiler goes,
becomes Spider-Man.
Have you played the video game?
Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of it right now. I'm like 65% done.
Listen,
I love that
I'm
game.
my third time playing it. Like right now, like literally talking. I'm playing it right now.
Nice,
But
nice.
not because he's definitely invested in this
He is
podcast.
invested in the podcast. Why don't you just go ahead and tell the listeners what your gamer tag is, and they could hit you up, and you could use that to recruit people for the podcast.
My PSN is Tomahawk HW. Tomahawk HW.
Tomahawk HW. Find Stukes. Find Stukes. All right,
Yeah.
more news. This is a true blue Marvel news, but it's not particularly substantial because it's secret invasion news where actors just get cast and we never find out who they're playing.
Because it's a secret.
It is a secret. Right?
Invasion.
So 2 actors that have been cast over the last couple of weeks, one of which, Christopher McDonald, not one of the members of Steely Dan. That is a different McDonald. Christopher McDonald, he was also in Happy Gilmore.
Okay.
Playing an undisclosed role in Secret Invasion, as everyone has been playing an undisclosed role.
Is Chris McDonald Shooter McGavin?
Yes.
Yes.
I have not seen the movie, but I have heard the name.
You've never seen Happy Gilmore?
Happy Gilmore?
I have not seen Happy Gilmore.
Can I just say, like, I hate golf, and Happy Gilmore is one of the 10 funniest movies I've ever seen in my
I
life.
fucking love
I just
golf.
want to point
That's
out
my
I
golf
can never
movie.
be judged again by Mike. I'm just saying. I can never be
You're
judged
right.
again.
I wholly agree with you. I'm so sorry for judging.
Well, I'm
judged
the
you 3
youngest
times.
person here, so I have my excuse for not seeing that movie.
Wow.
I mean,
Why-
Movie is
why
like,
you could've
it's-
just
I
left
saw
Mike
that movie
by
a million
himself.
times.
I mean, we're gonna just keep it moving as I talk about another actor that has been cast in an undisclosed role in Secret Invasion, and that is Carmen Ejogo.
Would you call me?
Oh.
You just call me a bitch.
I'm going to say that's an undisclosed actor. I have no idea who that is.
Oh,
Carmen
Carmen Ejogo.
Joker.
If you
Oh.
don't know.
Now Ejogo.
She has a very young old face.
Yeah.
That is
Like Greg Oden or
wow.
No, I'd say
I'm gonna
more
go
like,
ahead and share the link in the chat. Listeners, just go ahead and pretend that you can Google.
Yeah.
And
she is very no wonder. Okay, so she is 47 years young, and she played. I'm sorry.
she is half Nigerian, half Scottish.
Oh, I know I know her from. Okay.
Yes.
How do you spell her last name?
EJOGO.
She was in a lot of movies.
She was in True Detective, the Mahershala Ali season of True Detective.
Yes, she was.
She's great.
She was
Ah,
also she also
okay.
played Coretta Scott King in Boycott. Sorry.
And she played in Sparkle and Fantastic Beast and Alien Covenant. She was in a lot of.
She looks like
She played Coretta Scott King in 2 movies.
Yeah, I was gonna say she
Also
played her
in
twice.
Selma.
she looks like
played
an
it.
older version of Christina Milian.
I can see that.
I can see that. Yeah.
Very spot on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she will be playing an undisclosed role in True Detective, sorry, in Secret Invasion.
I
Yeah.
could see her being like an authoritative role.
Yes. So
Yeah.
and they've been casting a lot of British actors. So I'm guessing that the Skrulls are all
Because
British.
British actors are better than American actors? What? Oh,
No, I mean all the
So
Skrulls are
what,
British
you know
apparently.
The
You know.
secret. I was told this from a high person, a
Uh-oh.
high exec.
But you can totally drop
Stukes
their
is
name
breaking
right
news.
here, and I swear nobody will tell.
I cannot because I work for them. But So he was like, the reason why, because there's a lot more unknown people in Europe that come to America versus America going to Europe.
Yes.
And I was like,
So you got an idea? So you're going to Europe?
going to Europe.
Wait, here's a random factoid about Carmen and Jogo.
Wait.
Wow.
Yeah, I caught that one.
Apologize.
She has been married to both Jeffrey Wright.
I just want to point out, Mike, real quick, before you start talking, I just want to point out, we've talked about other male actors, and you never once brought up any of their relationships. Are you doing this just because she's a woman? Like,
No, I'm doing this because
I just don't understand.
I'm doing this because I have her Wikipedia page open. So she's been married to both Jeffrey Wright and Tricky.
Wait, who?
Is that his whole name?
Wait, are you guys not familiar with the rapper Tricky?
I live under a rock. I don't know.
This is pretty tricky, which means
Ricky-
it probably wasn't that good.
You from Detroit?
Ricky's in a movie.
It's always safe to say rappers from Detroit.
Wow. I thought you guys.
Ricky's in the
I thought you
Fifth
guys were
Element, right?
all.
Mike.
I thought you guys were all my generation. Really.
Wait, Mike.
I am not your generation.
Wow, he called you straight up the OLD.
Wait,
The
is
Fifth
someone
Element?
talking right now?
TJ's talking.
I don't know.
The
Was
Fifth
he the
Element,
Fifth
yeah.
Element?
He was like, bloody
Multipass?
Corbin Dallas.
That's it.
Corbin Dallas.
Yep.
All right.
Wow. That's
I just
Dallas
know him
Multipass.
as like the biggest French rapper that there ever was. But okay, fine.
all I know him as a support.
So you went on to talk about this female actress only to highlight who she was married to.
No.
Oh, okay. I was
I
trying to
talked
figure it out,
about
Mike.
her career, and then I said
really
an interesting bit of trivia about her
was who she was married to, not like how she started in the music business, not how how many what her aspirations are. The bit of trivia was that who she was married to. The patriarchy continues. The patriarchy continues.
Look. If
I'm sure she's great. She married and divorced Tricky in 1998.
In the same year.
all I'm saying is that if one of these male actors if one of these male actors married Megan Thee Stallion, I would also put that in the realm of interesting bit of trivia.
Yeah, if Aaron Taylor Johnson was married to Jeffrey Wright and Tricky, I think we would talk about it.
Thank you, Carlos, for clarifying what we all know.
Like, oh wow, married to Ice Cube and Rick the Ruler. Weird. Aaron Taylor Johnson. Who knew? Aaron Taylor Johnson was married to the woman who directed 50 Shades of Grey.
Was he?
And she did not put him in that movie.
Wow. I mean, she helped him out in his career, I suppose.
She wanted him to watch and learn.
To be fair, he's had some full frontal nudity scenes in some other movies, and so I can imagine why she would want to keep him out of the clutches of other women. I'm just
paid content for the
please
Patreon.
tell us.
No. That is paid content for the Patreon. Randy, you will let the Patreon
know. You're gonna in great detail.
You will let them know where, what movies, and what the time codes are. But,
I will just say that his silver is anything but quick. Don't past that.
Are you saying that you bet you didn't see that coming?
I am saying that I have much respect for Aaron Taylor and his Johnson.
Fair.
Nice.
Fair. That is fair.
Nice. Landed that plane.
I saw a meme the other day that says, if your penis doesn't go past your balls when you're soft, you better change your tone of voice when you're speaking to me.
All right. Well, take note, listeners. Take note, listeners.
What is going on here?
Yeah.
We are going to try to transition into. I don't even have a transition for that. I can't.
Please don't.
I can't segue into that.
Talk to me nice.
Yeah. So, Oscar Isaac. Everyone's a fan of Oscar Isaac. No knowledge about his dick. But
Not
Oscar
even in the
Isaac,
Wikipedia.
But you know what? I'm going to look up Oscar Isaac and find out if he's been married to Tricky or Jeffrey Wright. But Oscar Isaac has finally been confirmed by Marvel to be playing Moon Knight. Officially been drafted by the Latinx delegation. How do you feel, Carlos? Are you looking to make a third season acquisition at the right price, of course?
Yeah, I'll have to look into what Moon Knight's got coming up. I just wanted well,
he does have a new solo series coming. He does have a solo comic coming up.
Yep.
I just want to say that if I didn't know anything about the character, Moon Knight sounds like the blackest character in the Marvel universe.
Wow.
No, that sounds racist. That sounds vaguely racist.
Carlos,
I don't hear it. I don't hear it at all.
You ever seen Sunset Park when he's like Bruce Lee? That's a black man's name. Like Moon Knight just sounds like that's a black dude named Moon Knight.
You're thinking Moon Cricket.
That's not, sir.
Lord Jesus, you don't want to get anybody fired.
I'm just saying. I don't see it. I mean, I see the night part, I guess, and the moon. I mean, maybe.
Wait, you don't see it because it's so dark.
His name isn't Moonlight or Moon Bright. It's Moon Knight.
Big fan
of
is he
Barry
clear?
Jenkins. Barry Jenkins Moon Knight. It's a totally different. What?
Moon Knight
Is it clear?
It's unclear.
He's a white guy.
White.
In the comics?
No,
in the comics, yes.
Is he clear?
No, he's
in the
Jewish.
comics, yes, he's white.
He's Jewish.
Okay. He's not.
Does Jewish mean equate to clear? Is this what you're saying, Wayne?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't think that equates to clear. I think he's got, he's filled in.
He's
with
white in the comics, and then they cast Oscar Isaac, which works for me because white people aren't the only Jewish people that exist. So,
yeah. He just go under the training bed, bam, look at Israeli.
and Oscar Isaac has played Jewish people before, even though technically he is not himself a practicing Jewish person. But he claims a background, a Jewish people.
He claims to be kosher, pretty much.
Yes, that's what we hear. That's what we hear. But it's controversial. It's very.
If you want to keep getting those roles, you better claim it. Claim as many ethnicities as you can, so they can cast you as anything.
Yeah, I got some black on my mom's side.
Yeah, you'd be like, my uncle's half Persian, so.
Well, the funny story is that he did pick the name Oscar Isaac, even though his name is Oscar Isaac Hernandez Estrada. He's like,
that's a Kid Cudi situation.
Be thought of as Jewish or be thought of as Latino.
Your man said
in Hollywood.
Oscar Mike, you said Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac Hernandez Estrada.
There we go.
Yes. Okay. From Guatemala.
So
he was like, I don't want to play drug dealers. I want to play indie rockers. And
I want to play drug dealers who are like underlings for other drug dealers played by white people.
Look, all I know is that when I saw Inside Llewellyn Davis, I didn't think to myself, "Oh, this is a Latino role."
Exactly. He knew exactly what he was doing.
So, it's a funny thing. It's a funny thing, Hollywood diversity. So. That's a weird transition. That is a weird transition.
Now, my question is which story are they adapting from Moon Knight?
They haven't said anything. They haven't said anything about that yet.
No, but the announcement of Oscar Isaac came with the caption "We are Moon Knight," which does hint at
the multiple personalities.
The multiple personalities angle. Yeah,
I love that.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, every arc of his is like the multiple personality aspect. They would be fools to ignore that aspect of his character. But I'm kind of interested to see what they will borrow from, just because you don't really hear a whole heck of a lot about Moon Knight's different villains and things. Usually you
Right.
get kind of just, him, and you don't really talk too much about his mythos. So I would like to see, who exactly they're gonna have him be up against, and what part Ethan Hawke plays in that. I'm kind of interested to see where they decide to go.
And
Right.
So am I. So am
to
I.
piggyback on that, I'm interested. Are they going to play the 3-piece suit Moon Knight? Or are they going to do the Vishnu suit Midnight?
I think they're probably
The
going to
answer
do
is
all
yes.
the Midnights.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get
I think they're
multiple-
gonna go. I think they're gonna do a lot of like similar to what FX did with Legion. I think there are gonna be different Moon Knights in his psyche with the
Yep.
different personas, and
Interesting.
I think that
Ooh, I like that.
and I think they'll be in conversation with one another. And Oscar Isaac has had a number of different looks in his career,
Yeah.
and I think that they'll have him portraying the different facets of Moon Knight with the different looks, and I think that's how they'll do.
Looking at the stunt footage, like the rehearsal footage,
Right,
it looks
with
like
the
it's gonna
Krav
be
Maga, yeah,
extremely violent.
right. But
Extremely-
PG-13 violent, because it's still going to be on Disney Plus.
That, like, I'm very pulled on how they're gonna do Deadpool.
Well, that's a different conversation for a different show. We can come back and talk about that. But like,
Yeah.
I think particularly for Moon Knight, I think there's
They're
not going to
probably
be a
just
lot of
gonna
blood.
beep it all out.
Probably.
They have the camera right here when he's shooting a
It's
guy in the
like-
face.
Yeah, there's just not going to be a lot of blood. Is the key. Like he's gonna, both Moon Knight and Deadpool will probably do the violent stuff, but we won't see blood splatter. So it will keep it
it's
from.
kind of tough when you shoot somebody in the face from.
But Moon Knight is very much in that order of like street level vigilantes, like Batman or like a Daredevil or somebody. Like he may not do a whole lot of bloodshed, but you're going to get some brutal type fighting. Like it's not going to be some
in a dark alley.
Yeah,
Was Daredevil rated R? Netflix?
No, I mean it was on Netflix. It was
TVMA.
It didn't have to be
Right.
rated. Yeah, it was TVMA.
Right.
And
I
you know,
mean,
like he showed all that shit.
Well, but what I'm saying is, I'm not sure that they're going to go in the direction necessarily of. I mean, obviously they're not going to be excessively bloody, but I don't think you're going to have to worry in terms of like the action, the actual like fighting choreography part of it.
Gotcha.
I don't think you're going to feel like, oh wow, we got shortchanged. Like I think they're going to find a way to make it work.
I mean,
Well, when I find out, guys, I'll let you guys know.
Think about what you've seen with like Winter Soldier.
Right.
It was like the most brutal killer in the Marvel universe when he was the assassin, and you don't see the blood, but you definitely see him murk the Starks, and you see him kill a dude in that,
even in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like it was some pretty brutal stuff, but
so they'll do all that stuff without the blood. That's all that'll.
No, that's not realistic.
Well, no, but if you can artistically make it as kinetic and as like basically where you don't get the kind of cuts and stuff like that, where you kind of can tell that it cuts away from the violence, you can at least kind of see where the hit looks like it connects, or like you really like, oh wow, dang, he landed wrong, like that was, like if it looks like it's kind of kinetic enough, you can kind of get past the lack of blood.
I mean,
but I will say this though, it's kind of sorry. I will say this though, it is kind of ironic because like a big part of Moon Knight's character is that he wears a white suit specifically so that you can see the blood on him.
That's why I asked that question, Mike.
Yeah, but like that's probably not going to play into how he's depicted in the MCU.
And I was going to say that also think of like Heath Ledger's Joker.
Okay.
Cutting people across the face, killing people. He murders dozens of people in that movie. You don't see an ounce of blood. Batman tackles Harvey Dent off a building. No blood. right? So
yeah, there's the way to depict it for sure.
Right. Hell, Harvey Dent shoots the driver of a car while it's driving. No blood, and he walks out because of stupidity. See,
Wow.
that was dumb.
Speaking of
Very
Disney
valid point.
Plus and castings or series, as it were, Denai Guerrera, who you might know from The Walking Dead, who you might also know as Okoye in the Black Panther mythos, has been confirmed to have her own series on the way. Kia, how do you feel about that?
Oh my God. Really? I'm so excited. Oh my God.
Kevin Hart was right. Kevin Hart was right.
Yes. She's going to have her own series. She's going to lead it. And yeah, Wakanda for at least a little while longer.
Wow,
Forever,
if it was a
ever?
man, he would have said. If it was a man, he would have said Wakanda forever. But you see how he chose.
Isn't she getting her own solo thing and also starring in the Wakanda Forever thing?
Oh yeah, sure. No, right. But I was just specifically, the news is that she's getting her own series. That's
I'm so happy because like everybody was saying that she was like the standout, and then you would kind of get the sort of backlash of like, oh, they would never have her be her own star. They would never put her in her own thing. And now she's like doing both of the things, which I'm so happy.
Hey, Mike, no other fun facts about her?
I don't know, Kia. Let me find out who she's married to.
you know, Michonne was married to Rick in The Walking Dead.
There you go.
I
Really want that show to be called Wakanda Forever, ever?
Forever.
I'll tell you this. She is one tiny human being.
You're 6'8". Everybody's
everybody's
Exactly.
tiny. Dumb John Jones.
How tall is she?
To the bottom of my chest. My son.
Okay, now he's just rubbing it in.
My 10-year-old son is the same height.
So she's originally from Iowa.
Completely normal height.
I mean, I'm probably at the bottom of
Really,
your
Mike?
chest, too.
You chose the fun fact that she was originally from Iowa? Really? That's what you pulled, Mike? Really?
Mike, they questioning your ability. Mike.
I mean, I didn't know they had that many black people in Iowa. Like,
They had one.
17 black people in Iowa. I've been there 5 times.
Denai Guerrera is 5'7".
Like,
5'7". She's
She's
taller
like-
than me.
She's tall
She's
as
taller than
hell.
average height. He's over here like, she's short. She's a little person. I'm
She's
like,
a perfectly normal height.
Okay, so when my dreams was crushed in 2016, so I went to Sonoy, Georgia, right? We had a game there, and the lady was like, when I went to visit the schools, we had a host. She was like, The Walking Dead, they film about 20 miles south from here.
Yeah.
At that time, I was like, oh my God. I literally had a Walking Dead shirt on going to the school, talking to the kids.
Yeah.
So,
But
so they was
very
like,
very quickly, Stukes, though, you understand you can't have 7-foot zombies because no one can reach their brains, right? You understand, like no one can get up there high to attack their head. So
hear me out. So I went, right? And I'm like, oh my God, this looks so familiar. And then like I see everything next to each other. I'm like, hold on, they traveled all this time when everything was next to each other? Like, my heart, what is going on? They lied to me. They all lied to me. And then I go to the jail. The jail's like a 4x6 prop. And I'm like, Lord Jesus, they lied to me. I'm like,
you mean to tell me they were not actually killing undead human beings across a post-apocalyptic landscape?
Listen, at that time, I was invested. Like, invested in The Walking Dead. Me and my wife was like, yo, every Sunday, no matter where we at, no matter what time zone we're looking at the show.
He said back then because that just crushed his dreams.
It's still going.
I mean, I remember watching Walking Dead back then and being like, they're on that same railroad track again, huh?
Exactly.
Listen. I'll put in the chat the railroad track that I'm on. I'll put in the chat.
Okay, share.
Hold
Wow.
on. I'll be right Bizak.
Once again.
Wow.
The railroad track in The Walking Dead was like that one valley in Lost. It's like, oh, so we're just going to shoot it from this side. And you're going to try to tell me this is another part of the island? See the same trees, bruh.
But yes, Denai Guerrera, noted playwright, award-winning actress.
I feel like you're really struggling, Mike.
Go ahead, get that wiki reading off the chest. Go ahead.
Like, did you
look.
hear how uninterested he is
Never-
about it too?
Never
But, you know,
married
when
Tricky.
you said Trick,
Never married Jeffrey Wright.
he's
No,
quite
no.
animated.
Yes. All I'm saying is that we should celebrate Denai Guerrera. I still want Nakia to be the new Black Panther, but I'm happy that Okoye is going to get her series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's getting some shine in the comics, and I'm happy that Denai Guerrera is going to be getting some more shine too. It's very interesting that they've decided to follow through, because I was hoping that they would, but I wasn't quite sure they would.
Right. And listen, she's makes her draftable possibility. 3, right, for the right price. So we're gonna close out with 2 comic stories from the Marvel Universe.
I heard that for the right price, just so you know.
The first involves noted 2-time draftee for the Native American delegation, Venom.
Woo! Such a great pick. Hey, remember that pick, Carlos?
Yeah. Barely. Like, it's hard to remember it so long ago that I won the championship. So
Hey,
Venom.
Hey, Carlos, did you hear the new news? Did you hear the news, Carlos?
are you back?
I am.
Did you send the fax?
Yeah,
Jordan stuff?
I'm back. Guess who's back? Back again.
I know you don't
Kia's
listen
back.
to the episodes you're not
Tell
on,
you
but I
what.
definitely said I hope Kia's back because I want to beat her. So
Oh,
Yeah,
there we
I
go.
know. It's gonna be really interesting. Like, but you know what? I'll get you some tissues.
And Kia,
We will also save that for the OnlyFans.
yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, Carlos. Okay, let's just say it right now. If Carlos loses, he'll be on the OnlyFans crying. He'll get to watch it live.
Kia is gonna try to like save that little audio clip of like where you say that you hope that she's on so you can beat her and be like, yeah, Carlos wants to beat women.
I have it ready. I'm like, just
No,
repeating.
that is not Kia behavior. We know whose behavior that is, and that person is no longer on the show.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
Every episode is a countdown to that reference.
So Donnie Cates just concluded his award-winning run on the Venom comic, and he will be handing the reins to one of our favorite comic writers, Al Ewing. Protect Al Ewing at all costs.
Yes, sir.
Taking over. Al Ewing, Ram V, and Brian Hitch will be starting this November, the new era of Venom. As I don't know if you guys are up on the Venom. He now has cosmic abilities. And he, at the end of King in Black, when he successfully took down Null, shout out to the Latinx delegation, Null. When he scored, I believe, let's see how many points he scored that one week. It was like 36 points.
I believe so.
Venom?
Yeah,
that was that week.
Yeah. How'd you feel about that week, Carlos?
It was 29 points. It was a 29-point week where Venom did all types of shit. And
no mercy.
Flew off into space. And this is going to be the continuation of that adventure, written by Al Ewing, starting this November.
The Native American delegation is going cosmic, because now Venom has cosmic powers and Echo is the Phoenix.
Right.
That is right. So we're, it's going to be very interesting to see what the Native American delegation does in season 3. You know,
how does Jean feel about that?
I
Echo being the Phoenix.
I don't think Echo cares because she has the Phoenix power. what is Jill gonna do about it?
yeah. Oh, I almost said it and I didn't. I'm glad.
Oh, you should have said it.
I was like, they don't hear me though.
Carlos, why are you laughing so hard while I'm mute?
He does like a John Cena by her ears, like you can't hear me.
But yes,
Okay.
Venom will be getting a new series this November. But for other comic news, and this one is super controversial. Kia, there is a new
Say
book.
my name, say my name.
There's a new book that's starting this summer called
TJ.
The United States of Captain America. It involves different Captain Americas from different backgrounds. Brand new characters will be introduced, including a Native American Captain America.
Stukes, you okay?
I don't know if Stukes dies live on the podcast. That is also happening on our Patreon.
We charge extra for snuff films.
Sorry.
Exactly. So, we don't want you to die, Stukes, but you know.
But we're gonna make money on it if you do.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. But in this comic, the United States of Captain America, they will be introducing, in I believe issue number 4, which will begin in September, the Filipino Captain America.
I like it.
Kia, how do you feel about Filipino Captain America?
That's dope.
I like it.
I like it. But
wait for it.
Karaoke.
Wait for it, guys. We're the story's not complete.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and say what I need to know. Her name is Ariel Agbani. Agbayani. She is a student, a scholarship student at a small private university. She was created by Alyssa Wong, who was created alongside Jody Nishijima. They wanted to craft an authentic Filipino American character. They wanted to represent the Filipino community. But there was just one tiny issue. Just really tiny.
They're really bad at making lumpia.
No, so her name is Ariel, but she goes by Ari for short. ARI. And apparently in I don't remember the name of the language.
I think it's Tagalog.
Yes, in Tagalog.
Is it Tagalog? I thought it was there was like a K in there. Tagalog. Yeah,
Tagalog.
It's not Tagalog.
Yeah.
I
was applying for a job when I was like a job at Starbucks, and the manager was like, "Hey, write on this on this application, like if you speak any other languages, like he's going through the list of languages that's there. He's like, if you speak Spanish, circle Spanish. If you speak Tagaloganese, check Tagaloganese. It's Tagalog, and I don't speak it.
Well,
Tagaloganese.
Well, in Tagalog, the name Ari happens to translate to a genitalia. I'm not exactly sure which genitalia.
Well, could you please look that up so we could educate the people?
I do think it means like all genitalia. Like
it just means like
you're junk.
You're junk. So so like junk.
That sounds like a really weird affirmation.
Yeah. So
if he looks up what specific genitals, he can't reveal that to you outside of the OnlyFans.
I am Ari.
Fair. Yes.
Oh snap! Fuck my Ari. I like it.
So, look into the mirror every day and say, "You are Ari."
So
big Ari energy.
So this Captain America is
is junk.
Yeah, what? Patriotic junk.
Patriotic junk. She ain't just
well, I think I low key kind of think they did it on purpose. I don't know. It's just me.
It feels like a horrible misstep.
Look at that Ari.
It's pretty rough.
Just look at that Ari. That is America's Ari.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, I like that they're like, look, guys, her name's Ariel. It's like, okay, so it's not genitals, it's genitalial. Great.
Listen,
Fantastic.
I mean, one of the most popular characters in DC Comics is known by Dick. You know,
That's true.
like he
Right.
We just had a whole event that was centered around a dark entity whose name is Null, which y'all know what that translates to in another language. I'm pretty sure it translates to the F word.
Oh, okay.
No, no means zero in German.
No. I'm not talking about German. It's another language. It's another language that is like, it means the F word or something like that. I forgot what exactly language it is. I think it's like
Wait.
Somebody.
Swedish.
Yeah.
Swedish. He is white and blonde too.
You know, I mean, sometimes there are unfortunate translations, and you know, America's Ari is
I mean, they have a choice. They have a choice. Yeah.
I mean, at least Marvel is trying to kind of rectify it with her name. Like DC, they let some stuff slide sometimes, and Marvel they've let some stuff slide sometimes. So at least this time they're like, okay, whoops, we made a mistake.
This happens a lot with their like ethnic character rollouts, though, and it's not necessarily like we named the character genitalia, but like you come up with a character like Miles Morales, and I get it, Peter Parker, Miles Morales. You want the alliteration. Yeah. Morales is his mother's last name. And so now you got to talk about, like, why doesn't he have his father's last name? And by the way, his father's name is Jefferson Davis, a black man named Jefferson Davis. Like, that's just, like, this is just like when you didn't ask. You didn't ask anyone. Like,
own goals. A whole bunch of own goals.
A whole bunch.
Yes,
like my kids, I let them have both our names.
That was nice.
If we want to be like,
that's actually pretty cool.
No. But the marriage is my fucking name. Let's get that straight.
So we kind of talked about this. So now there's a little bit inside baseball about the stuff we talk about on the internet. But like sometimes with comic books, they try to be like really basic. And in a situation with like Miles Morales, comparable to what they did in the 90s with Miguel O'Hara, like when they want to indicate that a character is of a multiracial background, they will give like a first name that makes you think, oh, this person is X background, and then they'll give the last name, which lets you know that this person is the other background. So like Miles, Miles, that sounds like a black dude, right? Miles
Davis.
Yeah, of course. Like, you know, but Miles Morales, oh, well, he must be black and Latino, you know?
Right.
Like like Miguel O'Hara, does he happen to be Latino and Irish?
I will absolutely say that this is at least their kind of reaction to the fans' reaction is better than we got from Wolverine's son, Akihiro, who for a long time was known by Dakin. And they tried to be cute and act like, you know, oh, he took back, because Dakin is a slur in another language. It's a slur.
But he still goes by Dakin.
No, but that's my point. He has actually he supposedly is like, I'm trying to take back the slur and make it something positive. And like white people don't get to do that. You don't get to write the story and be like, hey, I'm taking back this slur and making it positive. Or on DC side, they have the son of Aquaman, who his name is Koriak. And Koriak, if you look it up, is not even an actual name. It's the name of a tribe. So that's like if you call somebody, African. Like, no, that's not a name. That's you're part of a racial ethnic group. Like, you know. So
Randy.
Huh?
That's what you say, suck my Ari.
Well, that's why they have to like be kind of more mindful in terms of like in the future. Hopefully they will call her Ariel, like just go ahead and say her whole name.
But so here's the thing. I think that I mean, again, I don't know who's writing the story, but maybe there's a way to make the story work where, you know, she's Americanized, right? And like people call her Ari, and she might call herself Ari, and you know, because she's disconnected from the culture,
and she has no self-esteem.
And then someone tells her, like, you know that Ari means like genitalia, right? And
I mean, honestly,
you know what I mean? Like it's
I would like to see that. I would like to see something like that because, like, for a long time. Well, I don't want to say for a long time, but the character that we know, Battlestar, who was recently on Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Before he was Battlestar, he used to go by Bucky, and then he had to be informed by another elder Black person who was like, you know that Buck is like a disparaging term for Black people, right? And then, you know, that kind of. Right. So I hope they do address it and don't pretend it's
honestly.
But quickly, though, like in that situation,
okay, wait, you can go ahead and talk over.
Yeah. No. Sorry. Just like I just want to know, did a white person write that?
A white person did write it, and it was like it was clear that it was like actually, even though a white person wrote it, it was like. Okay, even though a Black person said it in the comics, it was behind the scenes. A white guy had been informed by a Black editor, I think it was, who was like, bruh, you think that's not appropriate. So then the white guy makes it seem like, oh, look, it's my story. I am helping this Black character realize a little bit more of his culture.
It feels a lot like...
No, Kia had something to say.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I forgot it.
God damn, sorry, Kia. Sorry.
It's okay.
I was just saying it feels a lot like when that moment in comics, you know that's a negative term for Black people. Sounds a lot like the prior president being like, nobody knew healthcare was so hard.
That's exactly what it felt like to me. It was like
the answer to that is everybody knew, bro. Everybody knew.
He tried to turn his own little informing moment into like, oh wow, y'all guys need to know this.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell everyone, like, we've been waiting for you.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. No, because, you know, again, I think that there's, especially when we talk about like Americanized, you know, people who could be disconnected from a culture, that, you know, the idea of that being a like quirk in their personality, that they have to reconnect with their culture. You know, that can offer storytelling opportunities that wouldn't exist if the character was like, I know everything about my culture, even though I grew up here in America, where ignorance is like a way of life.
I am perfectly fine with the story of like using this Americanized character to reconnect with, to reconnect and kind of reconcile the ignorance, because like that's like, say for example, it reminds me of another character who back in the 90s, he was part of Teen Titans, Hotspot, Isaiah Crockett, I think his name was.
Okay.
And he went by, at first he tried to like be fancy with his hero name because he had like heat-based powers, and he was like, well, I'm going to use a Swahili word for heat, which is JOTO. And then other people who are Spanish speakers are like, no, JOTO in our language, it is a disparaging term for gay guys. I think it's specifically for gay guys, but it was. Yeah,
I mean, and he had flaming powers, which makes it worse.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy that people would be like, oh yeah, let's just take this one word that means something in this language and not do all of the research and actually put in that effort. But you would kind of think that people would put in a bit more effort now that it's 2021.
I mean, Google is right there for everybody. I don't understand.
Like we are in an era that is, not only is it 2021 when we care about, we actually care about being respectful toward diversity.
Do
we? I mean, we're trying to. Some people are like, at least now it's a consideration. That's how But at least I would say that it's part of a conversation. I put it that
Oh,
way.
yeah. I like to talk about a lot. That's why I'm on a podcast.
I'm just saying that it's not something now that is automatically discarded. So if you're in a situation that you're creating a new
Nice.
character and they are of a different culture, then absolutely talk to somebody who is from that culture. Like even if you don't want to do the reading because reading is hard, at least talk to somebody who's from that culture and
Or
like
find that
try to-
audiobook.
I mean something, some kind of research, something. Because if you just go to cool baby names, then cool baby names is not necessarily going to be the most reliable source in terms of language translating names.
But what does Ari mean in every other culture, like, or every other language? I mean, and
well,
because if it doesn't mean anything bad in all the other ones, it's like one out of like what? How many languages are there?
It's the one that
Right,
the character
but that just happens to
is.
be the one that the character is. Exactly.
I mean, but what if the parents were inspired by, I don't know, like Swedish people? Like,
Do you know what her Filipino parents never call her?
It's the one apple kind of spoils the whole bunch thing. It's like if you say that, okay, sure, this word is totally innocuous in this language, but in this other language it means something that is offensive. Then I can understand why they would feel like it's a mistake, or hopefully take it in consideration and not make similar mistakes in the future.
No, but I'll take it a step further. Listen, if as a Black person, right, I wanted to write a story about someone whose name was Jiggaboo.
Yeah, you first have to be Black.
There's probably a lot of different nuances I could get into in telling that story of someone who unfortunately had to go through life with the name Jiggaboo, right? That is much different from like a white person creating a character whose name is Jiggaboo. Like that person probably doesn't get the leeway to tell that story.
Right. Brian Michael Bendis creating Jiggaboo Jimenez is not going to be. Jiggaboo Jimenez, but Jimenez is the mom's last name. Oh, and her dad's name is Uncle Tom. So
was that show Cartoon Network? Uncle Grandpa?
Oh man, that is
funny.
Yeah, that's going into a sound clip. But that concludes our docket, guys. That is probably takes us to the end of a week of Racial Draft Business. And as always, if this is your first show,
you're welcome.
It's 2021.
I apologize. But if you still want to be a part of this experience, this racial draft experience, no matter what your background is, no matter what delegation you represent, hit us up on social media. Racial.draft on Instagram, Racial Draft Pod on Twitter, Racial Draft on Facebook. You can hit me up at MTFIII across all social media. You can hit Kia up at
well, where I've been located lately is Clubhouse, so you can find me on Clubhouse. Kia Bernstein or Fran Kia Bernstein, whichever one. Or you can also find me on Instagram, which is Kia Beatism, because that is a thing, a real thing. Yep. And you could also find me on Twitter. I think that's also Kia Beatism. Look at me. Yeah. You can find me anywhere. Hey, Carlos, I guess you would be next.
Yeah, Carlos, where can they find you?
I'm at Carlos Freites JR on Twitter. That's FREYTES. And nowhere else. Don't look for me. I'm not there.
Randy, where can they find you?
I am Randy S0725 on Twitter. Randy Micah Smith on Facebook for those who still use it. And also on Twitter, if you want to look up my hashtag superpowerlets, you can find me there as well.
Did you say superpower lips?
Hey, look,
No.
I'm not gonna get into my bedroom name. That's not what I said. I said superpower list.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I heard that wrong. My bad. I had so many questions.
And Mr. Stukes, where can they find you?
Just search my name, TJ Stukes, TJSTUKES. Watch me on the Cube, June 10th, TBS, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central.
Nice.
One day I'll be able to say Google
TV
me.
star. But yeah, listen. The next season is coming in July. If you are a part of a delegation and you would like to put in some bids in season 3, if you would like to see your delegation,
my Cash App is Kia Bism.
hit us up. You can potentially pop up on the show with us and take part in the shenanigans of season 3 of the Racial Draft, because we're doing big things and we'd like you to be a part of it. But until next time, people, say it with me. All things are possible.